Of the new generation of Formula One cars here in Barcelona. What's your first impression of 2022 Formula One?
First of all, I have to say I'm quite happy because the first target was to confirm what we found during our tire development test last year and the post-season test. Last year we were using mule cars, so we had some question marks like the aero package that is not the same, like the wheel cover, the heat transfer between the brake and the rim. So it was important to have a first feeling of that. It is quite positive. Comments were in line with what we found last year. Now we have a lot of data to analyze. Teams were focused mostly on C2 and C3 because they were focused on the car setup and balance and to understand how the car behaves. But I believe that we have a good information.
Now, you mentioned about the data you've got to go through. There was going to be some wet weather data. We did wet the track here. There weren't many cars that took to the track in the rain. Is that going to hold you back a little?
Yeah, that was an opportunity that we decided to give to the teams because I feel that with such a big change in tires and the car, it was not right to face the first wet condition without having tested the wet or the intermediate first. So we asked the circuit to use as many tanks as they had, and they had 6, I believe. So in 1 hour time, they put as much water as they can. And we had something similar to full wet condition. Also to evaluate the crossover time between wet and intermediate to slick. The crossover time is really important to be sure that there is an overlay between two products and not a gap, because a gap is dangerous. You don't have any tire that is suitable for that condition, and we want to avoid that.
Now, you've had a chance, you've got a unique insight into all of the different cars up and down the pit lane, what they're like on track now. You've seen them in the wet, in shakedowns, you've seen them in the dry and the artificial wet here.
Yeah.
What are you expecting in terms of the pace of the cars for this season?
I have to say that looking at the first lap time, also the first day, they were better than expected, because now we are 1.5 seconds slower than the best lap time during the race. I believe that nobody is pushing too much. I believe that they have still a lot of potential. So the pace will be, for the race weekend, quite interesting, especially because now the tires are designed with a different philosophy in mind, with the drivers that can push, because the new compounds are designed to have less degradation, less overheating, a wider working range, and especially with the new aero package, you can follow another car without losing the downforce. That means that there is no requirement to manage too much the race pace. That's why I believe that probably in some cases it will be interesting to see the race pace in some circuits, especially on high-speed circuit or circuit with high-speed corners, because this new package is working quite well on high speed.